I didn't call you, but I'm live on Instagram, on YouTube.
Oh. Okay. Slow walking out.
Alright, close the door.
Yeah.
Alright, what's up, guys? I'm back from my vacation. That was my sister Nicole. She was actually the one who was taking care of all the animals and answering all your questions while I was gone. Yeah, so now I'm back. I'm gonna be, taking care of all the questions, all the orders that came through last week. I'm gonna go and call everybody, make sure they're gonna be ready to go out this week if the weather permits. And yeah, man, my vacation was awesome. Nathan, I actually went to Arizona and the Grand Canyon area. There's a little Native American reservation called Havasupai. We went over there. There's just a beautiful hike, and there's 3 major waterfalls that are just absolutely gorgeous. We were just there, me and my group of best friends. Basically, it was 7 of us. We just went, hung out over there, and yeah, man, it was just a once in a lifetime trip. I want to do it again, but it was just one of those trips that the experience was well worth the hike and everything. But now I'm back and I'm ready to work with my animals again. I'm happy to be here, and yeah. So if you guys have any questions, ask away. All right, let me see the questions here. 1 second. Okay. It says I have a very bad connection. I think that might be because I have my phone is on airplane mode. So let me take that off real quick. And if I get an incoming call or something, I'm just going to have to ignore it or whatever. All right. Where are you located? I am in South Florida. Wow, that's a super cool live video. Who is this guy? Thanks, Nicole. Congrats on the Chewy Crusty Hybrid. Thank you. Hello from Texas. What's up, Gamer Jackson? Thanks for watching, man. Thanks for always replying on Facebook. No problem, Danny. How was your vacation? Good. Hey, from Poland. How are you guys, man? That's awesome that I got to, have people watching from Poland. Laurel, you're welcome. I'm glad I could help out. Okay, what Pangea fruit mix do I use? I've been using the breeder formula, obviously, because most of my animals are breeders, and the babies and the juveniles can eat the breeder formula as well. So that's what I use. I also rotate it between the watermelon and the banana papaya. Okay. It still says I have a very bad connection. I am sorry about that. T-Mobile sucks. Do you have... Okay. What other reptiles do you have? I keep a lot of reptiles. I keep, obviously the panther chameleons. We keep African fat-tailed geckos, bearded dragons, the abronia. Recently got into a Cuban false chameleon that you can see in one of my previous videos. And just a lot of different types of geckos, obviously. Okay, where are these comments? Okay. How many reptiles do you have? Too many to count. Okay, what is your opinion on putting two crested geckos in the same cage and they're both babies the same size? If you put 2 babies of the same size in one cage, they'll be fine. Just make sure you feed crickets and you're giving enough food. That way they won't starve to, well, they won't starve obviously, but that way they don't bite at each other. What other reptiles do you have? Do you have a girlfriend, and what does she think of your hobby? No, I don't have a girlfriend, but everybody who I meet that knows I breed reptiles and sell reptiles, they're kind of shocked at first, but then they like it pretty much. So yeah. What was your first reptile? A bearded dragon was my first reptile. Is a Pangea fruit mix with insects mean you don't have to feed in crickets? No, it just has the Pangea fruit mix with insects adds a little bit extra insect protein, but I would still recommend feeding insects for sure. Glad you're back safe. Thank you, Victor. That's funny. When will Glory's kids hatch? It's the project is successful. How much will you sell them for? Okay, yeah, so Glory, I have a lot of eggs from Glory in the incubator. I'm actually in front of my incubator right now, and I actually hatched a little baby that you can see right there. Little red pinstripe baby that just hatched. Yeah, but Glory, his eggs are still incubating. I have to, you know, one of the Glory eggs hatched, but it didn't end up being a lily white, so now I'm just waiting to hit the odds and get lily whites. Okay, when will Glory please breed tegus? Maybe in the future. I love tegus. Why are the ladies not going mad for the super gecko bros? I don't know, man. Hello from Germany. Hey, Luke, thanks for watching, man. What time is it over there? Can you feed gravid or breeding females only Pangea? Yeah, you definitely can, but I wouldn't recommend. I always recommend supplementing to the females. You know, I mean, it's extra fat, extra protein, extra calcium that they sure need. How much will lily whites be? Yeah, I'm not 100% sure on how much they will be at the moment. But if you're interested in more information about pricing for the lily whites, feel free to send me a message or an email, and I could get back to you on that. Okay. Hold on. Why can't I see my comments? Okay. Can you give a tour? We want to know more about the lily whites. Okay, I'm actually charging my phone right now, so I'll give a tour in a little bit right before I log out. But we also have another video, you know, that basically tours a room. It's called like Tiki's Gecko's Lizard Heaven or something like that. Let's see. Will you be at the Columbia Repticon on the 9th? No, at the moment I'm only doing the Repticons in Florida, and I'm really excited to say that I will be at Daytona for the first time this year, and I think it's August. I forgot what day in August, but it's in August, and I'm really excited about that. It's gonna be my first Daytona show ever. How much will it, okay. Do you have any blue tongue skinks? Not at this facility. Manny has blue tongue skinks at his house. But we should be getting blue tongue skinks in soon. Thanks for answering. I feed both crickets and Pangea. Just wondering. No problem, Gecko Guru. What tank size is your crested gecko in? I would really like to know because I might get one. Okay, so for most of my single crested geckos, I keep them in something like this. Okay, it's like this is I don't know. I think it's like maybe like a 20 quart or 30 quart. I'm not sure actually, but you could also keep them in like a 12 by 12 by 18 Exoterra or Zoom Ed enclosure. Any update on the summer sale? Yeah, so the update on the summer sale is that I'm going to be running it for another week. I sold a lot of stuff. I'm really happy. I appreciate it, man. You guys, you know, make what I do possible, so I really appreciate that. So I'm gonna have it going on for another week, and then I'm gonna cut it off. Tomorrow I'm gonna go through all the orders that I missed because I was in vacation, and I'm gonna call everybody, try to schedule a shipping date, and then we will go from there. Okay. Supplement for what? Okay, any updates? Okay, I read that. You're too much of an influence on my boyfriend. It's not good for him. Sydney, everybody needs more geckos in their life. You gotta satisfy your gecko addiction. That's my slogan. You still having sales on crested geckos? Yes, we are. Check out our website, tikisgeckos.com, and you can see the geckos that are available. Do baby gargoyle geckos show their colors at a show they had 3-month-old babies with no colors, but they said they would color up later. Yeah, so gargoyle geckos hatch out, well, like, depends on the lines, obviously, because you could have 2 gargoyle geckos that both hatch out brown, and one will turn super bright red, and one will stay, you know, brownish. So it just depends on the lines. You gotta trust the breeder. You gotta know who you're purchasing the gecko from. But yeah, baby, like my red striped gargoyle geckos, any red striped gargoyle geckos, when they hatch, they're pretty much brown. They show maybe hints of red or orange, but as they grow, they start to put on a lot more color. So yeah, they can put on a lot of color as they get older. Okay. Hold on, I have a lot of questions here. I live in Chicago, so what day are you going to NARBC? I'm gonna be there the whole weekend. I'm gonna be in the Tinley show in October the whole weekend, so I'll see you guys there. In Poland it's 10 p.m. Oh, nice. I think it's like 4. Yeah, it's 4 p.m. here. So yeah, thanks for watching. Do baby gargoyle geckos? Oh yeah, I answered that. Gravid females come to Michigan. I've been to Michigan before. Maybe I'll go again in the near future, but I don't know if there's any big reptile shows over there. I would love to find out, actually. Gecko Guru, do you have to mix vermiculite with another substrate for incubation? I just do vermiculite, but I wondered if it would be better to do a mix. You know, no, you don't have to mix it with another substrate for incubation. You could use straight vermiculite. It depends. Some people like to you know, mix it with perlite. Some people, you know, will just do vermiculite or just do perlite. Some people like me use Repashy Super Hatch. So it just depends on what you've had the most success with, and that's really up to you. It's a little bit like, there's not one way to do, you know, this reptile breeding thing. You know, there's many ways, so there isn't like a one right way. What's the appropriate tank size for a crested gecko? For one crested gecko adult, I would say a 12 by 12 by 18 is perfect. If you could go a little bit bigger, then you should. I mean, it's not gonna hurt, you know. What do you still have available, Jeff? All the geckos I have a ton of geckos available. They're all on the website, tikisgeckos.com. Will you have any female gargoyles at the West Palm Beach show, Repticon show? No, I won't have any female gargoyles there. I will probably have some babies, though. I'm not sure yet. Is it cheaper to buy a crested gecko online or at a show? Well, online you could find cheaper prices, but you have to pay a shipping charge. So it just depends on what you want. You know, if there's something that you really like and you want, probably online is going to be the best place to get it. But at a show, it's very affordable as well. Are your geckos healthy? Yeah, absolutely. This is what I do. This is my life. So I make sure all the animals are healthy. Yes. Where Manny at? Manny is at his house. He's probably sleeping or something. He's the world's most tired kid. But but yeah. Do you breed leopard geckos also? No, I do not breed leopard geckos right now. I do sell them, but I don't produce them. I sell them from, you know, I just get them from a local person that I trust, obviously. What gecko should I buy? Depends, you know, if you're beginning, if you're getting your first gecko, you probably want to go with something easy like a crested or a gargoyle gecko or a leopard gecko. It just depends on what you like best. So out of those three, which one do you like best? Do you like the arboreal geckos like the crested and the gargoyle? Or do you like more of the desert type geckos like the leopard gecko? So it's up to you. Why my Cressy don't want to eat Pangea breeding formula? Sometimes the Cresses don't like certain foods like the Pangea or the Repashy. Some will like certain flavors more than others. But guys, remember, these animals eat very little, so he might be eating and you might not even notice. You gotta really you gotta like just serve a smaller amounts, see if they're eating, and remember, if they're pooping, they are absolutely gonna be eating. Okay, do you have to pair up cresteds in a neutral cage, or can you put a male up with a female, my female? It really, listen, I've done both. 99% of the time I put them in a neutral cage just because I clean out the cage and I just throw new geckos in there. But I have added a female to a male's cage and a male to a female's cage. Now I always recommend going with a neutral cage. Any like past scents that they're gonna pick up on and are territorial. Sometimes some geckos, some bigger geckos will be more territorial, but you know, cresteds, they're not too bad. They're not really gonna hurt each other, but yeah, if you want a definite answer, go with neutral. Oh, that's funny. Eddie says, man, he's probably hitting the devil's lettuce somewhere. That's funny, man. You're funny. Where do you buy your crested gecko bins? Also, what is the max crested gecko you would put together? I buy the crested gecko bins in like Target or Walmart. Doesn't really matter where. I just make sure you gotta cut for cut up the top and screen it for ventilation. Can I send you my mixtape? Yeah, send me your mixtape, Danny. I would love to hear that. Where do you sell them? I sell them online. I sell crested geckos online on my website, tikisgeckos.com. Alright, do you have to pair up cresteds? Alright, I answered that. How can I tell if my female crested gecko is gravid? Well, the females, when they're gravid, you could actually grab them and feel them on the bottom of their, like on their, right above their hips, right above their back limbs. You're gonna see it's gonna, sometimes they can turn more into like a pear-shaped belly, and that's when you usually know that that they're gravid. Okay, how can I tell my crested? Okay, I build a cage for my cresties, but it's made out of pine. If I seal painted, would it be safe? Honestly, man, I don't know. I don't know. Where do you sell the gecko? tikisgeckos.com. If I buy a gecko from you, can I just go pick it up instead of shipping? Yeah, we could arrange a pickup if you're local in the South Florida area. I do that all the time. Just, you know, give me a call so we could work around the shipping on the website. What's my favorite gecko? Man, crested and gargoyle geckos, hard to beat that. Do you have any adult geckos over 50 grams that are under $150? I don't think so, but you can check the website. They might still be available. Do you house breeder leeches together all year round or only for breeding? Thanks. I actually haven't paired up my leeches yet, but I would house them for all year round. Once they pair up, if they're not having any troubles, leave them together. Can you explain how to breed with a demonstration of how to do it? Ricardo, we have plenty of breeding videos on our YouTube page, so check that out. I can't do that right now. Does the formula of Repashy that we use affect reproduction? Not really. I mean, it aids it, if anything. Repashy and Pangea are the best foods out there. My female had an egg on 6/11, used the super hatch. Should I candle the egg at all or leave it alone? Okay, so when you first get the egg from the female's lay box, you want to candle it. You want to put the little red circle facing the top, and you put it in the incubator and leave it. Don't play with the egg, don't candle it anymore. Just let it be and it will hatch. Obviously, as long as your substrate is right. Making a vid for my new crested gecko, what makes some plants toxic for geckos? You know, I'm not sure about the type of plants that are toxic. I know like the pothos is good, ficus is good, bromeliads are good, the ferns are good. Yeah, just make sure it doesn't have any like white. I mean, they shouldn't eat that milky sap or anything like that, but just go with what you know is safe. That's what I would recommend. Can crested geckos be housed with tokay geckos? Absolutely not. No, Joe. Yep. Tips for new cam owners. Oh yeah, my tips are make sure you're hydrating them. If you have a chameleon for the first time, they do need a lot of water, especially like the panther chameleons or veiled chameleons. You know, they if you're keeping them outside, make sure you're misting them, or you're having like a rain system for, you know, like 5 minutes once a day at least. If it would be better to do it 2 or 3 times a day. If you're housing them inside, try giving them a shower for like 15 minutes, like once a week, and that would help. Do you have any baby Mexican alligator lizards right now? I sure do, and they are for sale. Okay. Are you stocking mad cheddar and pushing what? Oh, are you stacking mad cheddar and pushing mad volume? Yeah, man, I'm trying this. Obviously, I want to grow more, but I'm doing pretty well, thank you. What fat tail gecko morphs are you working with? All right, I love that question because I actually want to do a fat tail video very soon. Right now, I'm working with obviously whiteouts, Oreos, Zulus, patternless, and amelanistics, so the albinos. Can my tarantula spider make babies with my lily black crested gecko? Absolutely not. Thanks. Either wasn't sure the size of the enclosure matter or not, but thank you. What type of Pangea do you prefer? Breeding formula or the apricot? What is a good crested gecko? Thank you, the best. What is a good crested gecko? Any crested gecko is the same, really. It just depends on your liking. You know, some crested geckos are nicer to me, and some crested geckos might be nicer to Manny or to another person. Like, I personally love obviously the lily whites, the quad stripes. Those are the pinstripes with the lateral sides. Those are some of my favorites. But Manny really likes the red harlequins, so it just really depends on you. Can you do a baby crested gecko handling video? Yes, I will do that, I promise. But I can't do it now. What is the minimum size enclosure for an adult crested gecko, like a vertical tank? I would say a 12 by 12 by 18. How much for a Chihuahua setup? Send me an email. I just switched my 35 gram lychee into a 12 by 12 by 18 3 weeks ago, and he really hasn't dabbled in his food at all since. Any tips? Yeah, make sure the temperatures are 78 to 80 degrees. And sometimes lychees could just go off food for a long time, or they'll just take a couple licks a night. So just be patient, try not handling it, not stressing it out, and it should be fine. Do you ship to Canada? Yes, I do ship to Canada. Can you say hi, Leah? Hi, Leah. Can cresties eat isopods as a snack? They don't really. I've never had a crested gecko go for an isopod. It's too small. Do you ship all through the U.S.? Yes, I ship everywhere in the U.S. except Hawaii and Alaska. Can you show a chocolate pinstripe? Not right now. My phone is charging, as you can see right here. So I can't do that right now. Can you show a chocolate pinstripe? Do you ship Pangea to Canada? Yes, I absolutely do. We ship Pangea. We ship geckos to Canada. So let us know if you need anything. Who is your favorite rapper? My favorite rapper right now has to be J. Cole. Yeah, probably J. Cole. In English. In Spanish is Residente, which is Calle 13. But yeah. Do you ship to Cali? Yes, I ship to Cali. Hi, I was on your YouTube channel and I was wondering what you like to feed your crested geckos. Well, we feed the Pangea and the Rapashi. So those are the two brands we recommend, and we sell them on our website as well, so check that out. Thank you. What's the heaviest crested you ever had? Crested gecko is 72 grams. His name is Espresso. Most of you have seen him at the shows. And he hatches out huge babies. So yeah, that's my biggest crested gecko. And he's not fat. He's like solid. Like that guy's just big bone, man. But anyways, Ismael, how do you make your crested gecko eat crickets? Okay, I have to make a video about this because I swear to God I've probably said this a billion times. Okay, so if the crested gecko is not eating crickets on its own, try grabbing a cricket with tweezers, cutting off the head of the cricket where you see that cricket juice, and putting it close to its face, you know, close to its nose, and then pull away slowly. Sometimes that triggers the gecko to want to eat it for some reason. Okay? What are the reasons that your crested gecko is very small for its age? What are some reasons that a crested gecko may be small for its age? Some reasons might be if you're not feeding enough crickets, or if the temperatures are kept too cool. Can you give me a shout out? Thanks, you're the best. Ricardo Almaraz, thanks for watching, brother. Here's your shout out. How much is shipping to Canada? By the way, you're the best. Thank you so much, Fraser. Shipping to Canada, send me a message and I will go through the details with that because it's a little complex. But yeah, send me a message or an email and I will help help you with that. Tips for new abronia owners. If you have small abronia, do not keep them hot. And if you have a UVB bulb, make sure they're not directly on top of the cage like this. Make sure the UV is, a little high. That way it doesn't warm up the cage too much. If it's an adult, I would say give them a lot of, spaces to hide. Make sure they have, enough food. I wouldn't mess with them too much, especially because they're very shy at first. But yeah. J. Cole All the Way for Your Eyes Only. Yeah, man, that's an awesome album. I love, all his albums are pretty good, but For Your Eyes Only, it's really good. Where are you located? I'm in South Florida. Can you make the rest of this live stream with a crested gecko? Sure. Here is a red pinstripe crested gecko that I produced. Nathan Hernandez, I am 13 and I am saving up money to buy a lily white crested gecko. So far I have $210. If you were to guess how much would you sell Glory's eggs? I don't sell eggs. I will be selling Glory's babies later this year. But, send me a message on that, okay? Leah Marie, can you make the rest? Oh, okay, I did that. Saturn rings. Is there such thing as a crested gecko having a too big of a tank, or is the bigger the better? There is no such thing as too big of a tank if you're providing enough food and the enclosure is set up properly. Obviously, these animals are from the wild, and there is no bigger tank than the wild. So as long as you're providing enough food and the tank is set up properly, there is no such thing as too big of a tank. Have you used the Pangea insect mix? Yes, I have. My geckos like the apricot one better. That's why I didn't want to have a gecko during this video, because they distract me too much. Okay. How difficult is breeding crested geckos? It's very easy, actually. It's very easy. They're some of the easiest gecko species to breed. But if you want to learn more, please check out our video on YouTube called Breeding Crested Geckos. Should we dust our crickets with calcium? Absolutely. You should always dust your crickets with calcium. How big should a 6-month-old gecko be, relatively, and a crested gecko? It depends on what you're feeding, man, and your temperatures. So plata o plomo. Favorite species of chameleon? Panther chameleons for sure. How can we tell what gender a gecko is on your website? Can we request a gender? Okay, so most babies on my website are unsexed. We have some males available, but when you go to the home page and you scroll down, you're gonna see, there's categories. It says male crested geckos, female crested geckos, and babies and juveniles. So If you want males, you click on the males. If you want females, you click on the females. But I apologize because I actually was supposed to do that before I left for my trip, but I didn't get to. I was gonna put more information and the probability of each baby or juvenile gecko, what, like, if they're a probable female or what. Can you do a giveaway for a free crested gecko? I have done many giveaways in the past, and many more will come. Just make sure you follow us on Instagram and Facebook. That's when we usually do them. I'm gonna take a couple more questions. Is Snakes at Sunset a good place to get crested geckos? I can't tell you that. I don't know, but I'll tell you what is a good place to get crested geckos, and that's Tiki's Geckos. What is your favorite type of crested gecko? Mine is harlequin and pinstripes. Like I said earlier, mine has to be the lily whites and the quad stripes or the super stripes. Those are my favorite. What's your favorite lizard you own? I don't know. Bearded dragons are awesome. Crested geckos are awesome. Gargoyle geckos. I really don't have a favorite right now. How long do panther chameleons live, and do they get sick easily? They can live up to like 7 years. The males, the females live a little bit shorter lives, and they can get sick if you're not treating them. If you don't know how to house them correctly, they can get sick pretty easy. But if you do, if you know how you're supposed to house them, you shouldn't have a problem. All right, this guy's okay. Do you sell insects? No, I don't. Not at the moment. Can we have more Spanish videos so we have a choice? Like if we want to listen to Despacito. Yeah, I actually want to make some Spanish videos too for those that are in South America or in Spain. But those are coming, guys, I promise. Have you ever tried to reach out to other reptile breeders in Florida, like Underground Reptiles or Camp Cannon, for a YouTube video? Yeah, I'm actually I want to talk to them. I'm sure I know, Ryan, the owner of Underground Reptiles, very well. I've worked for him. I work with him right now, so I'm sure I could do a YouTube video with them. But yeah, that's coming. That's something I have planned. Believe me. Have you ever tried to reach out? Oh yeah. How long does it take for a bearded dragon to shed? It depends. Just if he's having trouble shedding, just make sure you give him some soaks. Do you have any blue tongue skinks, and you have any you're selling? We don't have any for sale at the moment. Do you have a least favorite gecko? Not really. You are the best. Thank you for all the info. I'm going to buy a crested gecko. Thanks. No problem. In the future, would you work with Lanthanardus monitors in the future if you could get them? I actually don't know what those are. Oh, Borneo earless monitors. Yeah, man, that would be awesome. I've had a couple in my hands. They're really cool species. I just know that they're a really tough animal to breed and reproduce, but I would love to work with them at some point. Okay, 2 more questions. I am a beginner. When should I get an iguana? I'm a beginner. Should I get an iguana or a bearded dragon? Definitely get a bearded dragon. Iguanas are not beginner reptiles. Could you ask the Jungle Florida? You should ask the Jungle Florida their bearded dragons and lizards. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I don't really go to the jungle a lot, but Underground Reptiles have some amazing lizards, especially their tegus. But yeah, gecko cages. Okay. All right, guys. This gecko is driving me nuts. It's jumping everywhere. Okay, guys. Let me see. Do you recommend Chihuahuas as another pet after already owning cresteds? Yeah, absolutely. Chihuahuas are very easy. Just if you could keep a crested gecko, you could definitely keep a Chihuahua. So I would definitely recommend them. One more. Until when is that promotion of over a $100 free gecko? So for those of you that don't know, the summer sale that's going on our website right now, we're doing a promotion that if you spend over $100 on the website, with before shipping, obviously, that we will give you a free gecko as long as supplies last. Obviously, as long as I have enough free geckos to give. But that's gonna last until the summer sale is over, and or until I run out of the geckos, the free geckos that I'm shipping out. But the summer sale ends next week, so I will be doing some more posts on that. Again, thanks for watching, guys. Check us out on Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat. All of that social media is Tiki's Geckos. Appreciate every single one of you guys. Thanks for bearing with me through this video, and I'll see you guys soon.